And now to a new controversy on the campaign trail, where NBC's Chuck Todd asked Senator Mary Landrieu about her reelection, the president, and his policies, and watch her answer.
To be very, very honest with you, in the South has not always been the friendliest place for African Americans. It's been a difficult time for the president to present himself in a very positive light as a leader. It's not always been a good place for women to be able to present ourselves. It's more of a conservative place. So we've had to work a little bit harder on that. But, but the people trust me, I believe. Really, they do, to trust me to do the right thing for the state.
Oh, boy. Kirsten Powers is a Fox News political analyst and USA Today columnist. She joins me now. Your reaction to that?
It's astonishing. I really don't know why she would say something like that. She's such a good politician. She's so smart. She really has stayed in this race, which I think has surprised a lot of people, in a climate that is very hostile to Democrats and in a very conservative state. And she really has been hanging in there. She's down by about 4 points, and I think this is going to be something that's going to be very hard for her to recover from.
Really?
I mean, she just insulted all the voters. She essentially said that the voters in her state are racist and have problems with women.
And sexist. The double whammy.
I don't understand why she would say something like that. I think that, and clearly they elected her.
Right.
Right? So I don't know why she would say that.
And you look at, we were just talking about New Hampshire earlier. President Obama has a 38% approval rating. That's not in the South, and yet people don't really love his policies. It doesn't always boil down to race.
Yeah.
But we've seen a lot of Democrats make that mistake. But what does it say that she went to that place at this point, days before the election?
That she's very tired. I really don't have a good explanation for it.
Do you think it was a mistake?
I do.
Or do you think it was calculated?
I do think it was a mistake, because I don't think that she could. Doesn't strike me as the kind of thing that would necessarily turn out African American voters, which is obviously something she's very concerned about. Right. It may be something. Perhaps maybe they think that and they are desperate. It strikes me as more of a gaffe, though.
You think they're going to blow that up?
Because if the Republicans are, definitely. There's no question. And also, even on the gender thing doesn't make any sense. I don't think that that's going to necessarily help her.
They put her in office 3 times.
Yeah.
And she's suggesting they're sexist?
Yeah, and plus, like you said, there's such an easy answer. The president's just unpopular.
Right.
He's just unpopular across the country.
Why does it have to be about his color?
It doesn't have to be, anything other than that. And so, could be just that she was saying what she thinks. Could be a strategy because she is now down and is desperate. Though, we don't really know. I'm surprised at how close she's actually been able to keep it. And so this just seemed, if this was a strategy, I think it's a pretty risky strategy.
It's a risky one.
Yeah.
What do you make of, we heard Hillary Clinton stumping in Iowa and saying it doesn't matter, it's not just about being a woman, it's about being an advocate for women's policies.
Right.
Legitimate point?
It's a Democratic talking point for sure. I think then that's something that a lot of Democrats believe, that if you are for women, then you are pro-choice and you are pro a variety of democratic ideals. I think that Joni Ernst is somebody who's kind of turning this all upside down, though. She's somebody who's running a different kind of race, and I think is a good model for Republicans, where she has. She's never said that she's trying to break the glass ceiling, though she has showcased the fact that she's a mother. So she's showcasing both her femininity.
She's leading by example,
but she's not being overt in a state that has never sent a woman to Washington. So she's aware of that. You contrast that with the House, the Democratic House candidate, who is explicitly saying, "Send me to Washington. I'll be the first woman to go to Washington." So I think what Joni Ernst has done is she's highlighted her national security credentials.
Here's another question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think that statement could come back to haunt Hillary Clinton, the first half of it?
In what way?
It's not just about electing a woman. That's not the point, just to put a woman in office. Because I hear a lot of women, it's just a casual conversation, say, I would vote for Hillary just because I want to see a woman win the presidency.
Right. Well, but she would then, no, because it works for her because she does have all the right positions, right?
But I know the Republicans will sort of cut off the second half and say, even she admits you don't put somebody in office just because of the gender.
Which I think she would probably say. I think if you pressed her, she'd probably say, no, I don't think you do it just because of the gender. I think you do it because I'm going to stand up for women, and Democrats stand up for women.
Great to see you.
Good to be here.
Kirsten Powers. Well, next